Hey guys, welcome into the show. It is Friday. It is March 31st, last day of the month. Hope everybody's ready to rock and roll on a Friday as we get you set for the weekend. This is cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust, Eric Johnson, Lizzie Sparks, Scott Gherkin in studio. Tabitha Hassa has a day off, taking care of some medical things. She is all right. She's just going to get one of those normal things you have to get.
Not a woman one either.
No.
Because that's, you know what I mean?
Right, it wasn't a woman.
It's not
What
the
are those
woman.
appointments, those procedures? It happens sometimes in life.
It's mental.
But we're ready to keep everything going on a Friday. It is not a paranormal Friday anymore. It is not an AI Friday anymore. I guess group decision. We moved it to next Friday because if it was all
we
AI.
might not be on live next Friday with AI the way it's going, but we'll try.
AI next Friday. Today, there's so much news going on.
Yeah.
So that's what we are doing today. We are kickstarting it all. We're going to be talking a ton about Donald Trump and all the branches that go off that tree with an indictment. Heck, this is so still fresh. Eric's like, get Brad Young, our legal analyst, on for Cancel This. And Brad's like, Vic, I'd love to come on. I would come on in a heartbeat, but there's nothing to say. He said,
yes, there is. He can opine today.
He said,
that's what I wanted him to do.
He said, we're still waiting to find out everything. There'll be like 30, 32, 34. As he said, it's all, he didn't use the word joke, but he's like, it's all theater.
It's a joke.
It's all going to be for naught. It's all just to get names out there. I still think something else is going on the sides. Like, I mean, for this to be going on, for this to go through, for the DA Bragg to actually do this, I think something's going on. Like trying to keep our attention.
Yeah.
Like money or digital.
No,
or
it's
something.
not. You're overthinking
know,
it. You're overthinking. Bragg's not that smart. He doesn't know how to be that smart.
It's not him. It's Soros.
No, it's the whole cumulative liberal mentality in Manhattan is exactly what it is. Period. Discussion over. The pressure inside his tea-toting channels inside of Manhattan, making him go after Trump on no charges is political.
So we're going to get into it all. Trust me, there is a lot to talk about that. And coming up in about 7 minutes, we're going to talk with Al Watkins. His client, Jacob Chansley, the shaman, released early from prison, 14 months early. Oh, yeah, after that Twitter drop where we saw the video of him being escorted around by guards where it was a joke that he was arrested. Of course, Al came on Cancel This first to talk about it. Then Tucker Carlson was watching Cancel This one day and said, hey, you know what? Since Cancel This had Al on, I think we need to get him on our show, like on Fox. I think that's how that went down.
Probably.
It was.
So then Al went on Tucker's show and boom, what do you know? He's out of jail. So we're going to get into all of that. Already getting messages. Yeah, we've got all kinds of stuff going down locally in the St. Louis area. The St. Charles County prosecutor steps down. We've got Justin Hicks, your nephew, trying to get race baited, Lizzie, at the Missouri State Capitol. You can't make this stuff up. I mean, you just wait till you see this video. Like I said, we are packed today, which is why we had to push AI to next week. Donald Trump is not finished to the messenger. Mark my words. He is not finished. That's what Democrats want. He's not finished. So we're going to get into all of it. We're going to show you our sponsors, our advertisers real quick. Back with more right after this on cancelthisshow.com.
Have you ever heard of a use tax? Well, it's just another name for sales tax that may be paid on a purchase from Amazon or any out-of-state seller. Until recently, out-of-state sellers didn't have to collect the same tax as our local stores. But recently, the Missouri legislature voted to give our state its portion. Now Chesterfield voters must approve the law to get our city portion. Vote yes on Prop U to support our local stores and help our city pay for police, parks, and streets. Paid for by Citizens for Chesterfield's Future, Gerald Wright, Treasurer.
Hey guys, this is Dr. Mahesh Bhagway. I'm an orthopedic surgeon here in St. Louis for over the last 20 years. I went to Washington University. I got my medical degree at St. Louis University. From local high school athletes, college athletes, weekend warriors, injured workers, and even Cardinal baseball players, I've treated them all. Our practice strives to personalize care with every new patient being seen by me. To find me, contact my staff at drbagwe.com. That's DRBAGWE.com. Hopefully you don't need me, but if you do, you can find me now.
White Glove Exotic Services is St. Louis's first concierge vehicle service center. Alex David's team is passionate, certified technicians. They have industry-leading tools and equipment. They do it all. They pick up and deliver your car, hands-free. Plus, they have elite detailing service, customized PPF wraps and tinting, and inspection and titling assistance. White Glove also specializes in logistics and storing options, vehicle listings, and consignment. White Glove Exotic Services. Check them out at cancelthisshow.com.
Marco, wait. What? No response? Hi, I'm Curtis Sparks with Complete Auto Body and Repair, offering full service and auto repair to St. Louis and St. Charles. We are looking for someone to say polo. That's right, we are hiring. We want you now. If you would like to work in a well-paying environment, then you owe it to yourself to stop by one of our 6 Complete Auto Body and Repair locations. Will you help me find that missing person? Please call me directly at 636-488-HIRE. That's right, 636-488-4473.
Dad, and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
He fixes cars.
As all of you may know, the home of the Cancel This studio is located at the all-inclusive private jet hangar Strategic Air Services. Founded in Chesterfield, Missouri, they take pride in offering a meticulous approach to private aviation through services that fully manage your trip from takeoff to landing. Strategic Air Services is more than just storage for your aircraft. They offer state-of-the-art amenities to its members and guests. When you are not traveling, you have the luxury of enjoying their world-class gym, conference rooms, lounges, and so much more. Strategic Air Services offers an unparalleled luxury experience for all things private aviation. If you're looking for a new place to call home for your aircraft, give them a call today at 636-400-7601. Again, that's 636-400-7601, or visit their website at strategicairservices.net.
And welcome back into cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust with Eric Johnson, Lizzie Sparks all over the social media, Scotty Gherkin running the boards, producing the show, engineering. Tabitha Hassel, she has the day off today. So we'll be back full crew coming up on Monday. All right. Donald Trump news. We're getting to that coming up. Justin Hicks, Lizzie's son-in-law, being race-baited. He's biracial. Being race-baited at Jefferson City Capitol. Can't make this stuff up. Wait till you see that video. We're going to get into it all. There is a lot to get into. If you guys want to jump in on something, let us know. You can also go to a cause that we started when all this BS Trump stuff started, defendtrump.org. I believe it's defendtrump.org. Isn't it, Lizzie?
Yes.
Defendtrump.org. Of course, jump in on the show, cancelthisshow.com. Share the show. Let everybody know what's going on. Like, subscribe, whatever you want to do. We'll be talking about that. Getting ready to talk also with Al Watkins, Jacob Chansley, the shaman, released from federal prison early. And we've got Al Watkins ready to go this morning. So before we get into the Trump news, before we get into the rest of the news of the day, we jump in with our friend Al Watkins. Al, congratulations on taking care.
I'm very happy for Jake.
How did this go? When did you get the news that he was being released?
There had been some whispers. I've been in and out of D.C. since the release of the tapes on Tucker Carlson. And there was an indication that there may be an opportunity to exploit some of the U.S. Bureau of Prisons protocols. And that was something that was teed up as part of the plea and sentencing agreement and deal with the government. And lo and behold, they moved just a little bit more quickly than perhaps their schedule would have otherwise mandated. So we're very happy.
Man, that's awesome. Everybody got it. I don't know. Everybody got a chance to see your client's videotape. He looked like a overglorified tourist, like he was at a Vikings game or something like that. And it seemed to probably 85 million Americans that, like, yeah, we could see how it might be it might be bad going and taking a tour of the Capitol on the day they're switching power. But it didn't look like any kind of an insurrection. Has there been any movement on your client's deal after this video has been released to you?
Well, once the video was released to me, or released to the world, I should say, it became really clear that the Department of Justice had an issue. And that issue is one which involved the systemic compromise of the integrity of the federal criminal justice system for all Americans. Mm-hmm. Now, ultimately, with respect to Jake, the decision to get Jacob out of prison was not a function of anything other than protocols established by the U.S. Bureau of Prisons, mm-hmm. which once you're in there and once that 1 year is up, the court, following sentencing, the court's without jurisdiction to handle the case unless an extraordinary writ is filed.
Yeah.
Jacob is now, as a matter of record, not represented by me. He's been in jail. He has been released. He's in a halfway house. Many good things are happening for him. But the attorney, who is of record, not with the court, because he's never entered with the court, but just in the court of public realm, is representing a whole bunch of J6 defendants, and he didn't file anything with the court. He didn't file any motion or any application for a writ. So the process had to be navigated through the U.S. Bureau of Prisons, and it got done, and very glad that it did. The young man is bright, he's intelligent, but we all have to know, all these other J6 defendants, they have to ask themselves, have they too had their rights compromised? How do we know that the systemic flaws in the Department of Justice's discovery release protocols did not cause an injustice for each and every one of those defendants?
Do you think that the lack of I guess all the J6 attorneys and defendants, they didn't have access to this video from what I'm aware. Does this new video coming out have a different narrative in court, or is it the same kind of, does the case still hold up no matter what video you show to the jury?
Well, Eric, you're hitting the nail on the head. And you, quite frankly, often miss the nail's head. But you are spot on here. The fact is that we have the government that had a duty, and that duty was not one that was subject to negotiation. It was an absolute duty to release all of the evidence. What they've done, curiously, is they've said, oh, this wasn't relevant, or it wasn't it wasn't contextualized right. Doesn't matter. So what you've got is a finding that all these defendants, they don't have all the evidence they should have, and it's precisely because, Eric, those videos don't fit the government's narrative.
Yeah.
So, Al, as we move forward, you talk about the other January 6ers who are behind bars still regarding this whole situation. Are you concerned that something's going on at the highest levels? You heard the thing, deep state, things of that nature, a weaponization of government. Is it going on?
Yeah, I'm deeply troubled. And I don't say that lightly. When our federal judicial system, designed to be the envy of the world, is so compromised as to render us nothing short of a socialist republic during the heyday of the Soviet Union, we have a problem. And you couple that with the weaponization of prosecutorial officers around this country, and you have an entire trauma-inducing reality that you and me and everyone else who was raised with a genuine and heartfelt belief that we were in a land of those who were presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yep.
We're now in a whole different world. And that world is one where prosecution is not driven by facts. They're driven by politics.
Mm-hmm.
Are you leading anything into the Trump situation, the indictment?
Look, let's call this for what it is. The indictment in New York is, in my opinion, in the worst possible light for Donald Trump, a misdemeanor.
Yeah.
All right. Now, what are we doing? Why is the government doing this? And oh, by the way, we have to, in the same line of thinking, say, wait a minute, is this the same government that had all of the records about Bill Clinton getting on a plane and traveling into the Caribbean with a close personal friend named Jeffrey Epstein? Mm-hmm. Did we see him get charged? Did we see a multi-year probe into what Clinton or Clinton may not have been doing on a plane and on an island in the Caribbean?
Yeah.
Where are we? What's going on? This is not the land I was raised in.
Yeah. So what's the firewall? I always wonder this. It's like we have this rogue the key word of the day is rogue prosecution. We have one here in St. Louis. We have one in Los Angeles. Now we have one in Manhattan. We have them all over the place. What's the firewall between a citizen who wants to exercise whatever they want to exercise, freedom of speech, whatever it is, and injustice? I mean, I always feel like the judges should just sit up in their robes and go, what are you doing here, Alvin? What the hell is this? This is ridiculous. Why are the judges that firewall? Is there any firewall between these George Soros funded prosecutors and society?
Well, we've lost our last bastion of sanity to serve as an active judicial firewall, and that is an honest and truthful media. Unlike what you're doing here, what we see all day, every day is things that shroud in secrecy or morph the truth. Now, when we sit here and we look at what's going on, what is the backstop? What is that firewall? Presumably, it is a jury of our peers. Now, let's look at that.
But
Washington, D.C., the January 6th defendants, do you think any one of them will be able to find a jury anywhere in D.C.?
No way. Not in
D.C. That's the problem. It seems like you have to have a judge that says, I know the law here, and I can see this at 30,000 feet and 3,000 feet. We're dismissing this until
Eric, do you see what it's happening, though? And Al, you may or may not agree or may not want to get into politics, but I think it's clear by what we see happening in Manhattan. If you have a certain judge, a certain group of people, a certain attorney general in a state that may be conservative or liberal, you're going to have certain decisions that are made. Do you really think Kim Gardner would have the attorney general of New York bringing her up for removal if she was in New York? Hell no.
No.
It's happening in Missouri because Andrew Bailey knew that he had shot. And of course, people are trying to back him on that.
Yeah.
But it's the flip side in New York right now with the whole case with Trump.
No doubt.
Yeah, well, the problem in New York is not limited to or exclusively a part of the New York political landscape. As noted earlier in the show, it has blossomed from coast to coast. Our judiciary is, in no small part, comprised of political animals. Our prosecutorial offices across this land are comprised of political animals. So even those cases that should be brought, those cases are compromised because nobody has faith in the integrity of our criminal justice system. Mm-hmm. We've blown it. We've compromised it. And we have done so with reckless disregard for the fact that we need in our nation to have the utmost faith in the enforcement and upholding of our rules of law, not politicizing them, not rendering them a tool or a weapon. And it's sad. It's a pathetic reality.
Yeah. Do you feel like, I always heard the word banana republic, but do you feel like, now, I guess this, I don't know. This is, I sit in a lot of dark spaces thinking, but it's like you have this guy, Biden, who his son and his family basically had a influence peddling job, and they made a lot of money. I'm not going to lie.
It was $30 million.
And you have Donald Trump, who was impeached over a phone call. He was impeached over this minuscule garbage. And now he's about to go down this road again. At some point, isn't someone have to stick up for this guy? I mean, it's to me, it's getting out of hand, because it seems to me like turnaround is fair play.
Stick up for who?
For Trump.
Trump doesn't need anybody sticking up for him. I'm telling you, while he may not like this, he likes it. They got to go through the process, Eric. He won't. There's no way in hell he's going.
Is this set precedence to you that when Republicans finally grow a backbone, that there is going to be a
boomerang effect?
A boomerang effect,
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Be careful. But what we all have to understand is that we are not in a world any longer where people are standing up for themselves and for others who are being railroaded. We are finding that we have become a nation of folks who sit back in their Barco loungers and after the fact moan, groan, and agonize over the fact that, oh, woe is they. We need to vote, we need to advocate, and we need to fight for the integrity of our justice system. Right now, all that's missing is a bunch of reggae musicians, sitting on the street corner and that truck filled with bananas going by. Yeah. It's a mess. It's a mess.
Yeah, but let me just expand upon that a little bit more. So they haven't gotten him on anything. They can't impeach him, basically. But all you have to do if you're Hillary Clinton is say maybe there was this dossier, and then you get tied up in that little world of legal and media backlash for forever.
Eric,
is there any way that needs to be addressed?
What needs to be addressed?
What do you mean? What needs to be? I don't even understand the question. The weapon that they brought out on this guy is Trump. We might not put him in jail and we might not impeach him for real, but we'll use these weapons until he is gone. This is another weapon they just brought out of their quiver, which is the Alvin Bragg weapon now, which he'll be tied up in for the next 24 days.
Okay, but Eric, it's a weapon, but guess what? As Fox News reported, as many people are reporting, they just secured the primary win for Donald Trump. He has raised
not necessarily
the weapon
true.
backfired.
That's not necessarily true.
Yes, it is. Eric, he has a 30% point lead. And now he has brought DeSantis into the mix, where DeSantis is now ripping Bragg and backing Trump. I mean, if you're Donald Trump, you're used to this crap. I'm telling you, Eric, that's why I said there's got to be more to it.
I don't know. He wins.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't know where it all goes. Al, I'm just, I'm happy that your client that you started with in this whole situation, Jacob Chansley, back when we had our radio show, that he is going to be leaving prisoner. You maintained innocence to a point of him and how he was walked around and how he was invited in. And there were videos to finally prove it. Now he's going to be leaving her. And that's what you told us from the start.
Well, you try to speak the truth, and unfortunately you get overwhelmed by those in the world who are deciding that they're going to go along with the government narrative. And it doesn't matter whether you're Jacob Chansley wearing horns and a fur, or whether you're Eric sitting on the street corner just chatting about his own opinion. We are no longer a nation of free-willed human beings possessed of the right to speak and to speak their mind. And the retaliation that was thrown upon the J6 defendants in general, and Jacob in particular, was so appalling and so overwhelming at a time when our nation really needed something that was nothing short of integrity, and we didn't get it.
Yeah. I say that I do say that there's going to be a backlash, and I don't want to see any liberal go through this either. I don't want to see any conservative go through this. I think, we just need to even the playing field. If you go to a football game, the rules are the same for each team. Best team wins, kind of a deal. And boy, have they stacked the deck against this guy. Well, oh my God.
Well, just think of what Al said. And then Nancy Pelosi, we just saw what she said too, former Speaker of the House, who don't remember her. She said, yeah, you know what? She's like, Trump's going to have a chance to prove his innocence. I thought we were innocent until proven guilty, Al.
Yeah, well, she missed that day in school. And unfortunately, so has a great number of Americans.
Yeah.
This is, and I'm going to call it for what it is. This is bullshit. You can't have our leaders out there espousing that the new standard is you are guilty until proven innocent.
It's true. Hey, Al, how does it feel to be part of this you're in this American play right now? You're one of the cast of characters, if you think about it. You are, if they put a play together about this 100 years from now, they will have an Al Watkins character in there.
Now
think about that for a second, Al.
Who do you want to play you in the movie?
Listen, I got to tell you what, anybody who had the unfortunate task of trying to play me on any show, image, or play, theater, they better smoke some crack and have a good beer or two.
I'm thinking Al Pacino.
All right, you guys, a real pleasure always. I wish you well.
Thanks,
Al.
Appreciate it. Al Watkins.
Have a good day.
I've gotten her Watkins.
We'll go down to Clayton and he'll buy drinks for us tonight.
Oh, that's crazy.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. There you go. Always entertaining to talk with Al. Once again, Jacob Chansley going to, I guess, be released from prison early, regardless. Al's been talking to us about this story for a couple of years. Yeah, that just gets dropped or jumped on in the mail, the mail room yesterday. Come on. I'm convinced. I know how media works and doing it for 25 years. That was not by chance with they talk, they know the media is coordinated from a national standpoint.
Yeah,
it is.
Yes, it is.
Oh my God.
And there's no way that came out yesterday. And then brag, of course. Oh, just about 2 hours later. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, because they don't want coordinators of the media, coordinators from the White. And if you don't think the White House and the Biden administration is in contact with media outlets, think again. That does not all go down that way just by chance. No way.
So while you guys were at the Cardinal game yesterday, drinking beer and having fun, I was watching all the media channels yesterday, and it's fascinating.
I didn't drink one beer yesterday.
Yeah, right. Whatever.
I had a pina colada, and it was really good.
You didn't drink? Well, then why'd you go down there?
Well, you don't have to drink beer.
What did you drink?
I drank something else.
A little few shots. Yeah.
I don't drink shots. I'm too old for that stuff.
White Russians, anyway. So I was watching the news channels, and of course Fox is on there. Unconstitutional. They're they had the Trump supporters live. The live camera from Mar-a-Lago. The Trump supporters with the flags. And I was like, there's no way that the other stations don't feel the same way. This is completely overstepping your bounds. No,
I don't think
wrong.
So.
I went to CNN. It was an entire panel of leftists.
Yeah.
Talking about how
he's going to get what he deserves.
Finally, the day has come that we will get our picture.
They're giddy about it. And you know what? If the people are giddy about it and they're so excited and then they're just chomping at the bits, look at them really close.
Yeah.
They are not patriotic. No. They are a traitor of America. And I don't want anything to do with them. If I find out my friends are doing anything about that, they would hear from me today because they're not only are they an idiot, they don't love this country. They are not patriotic.
They would disagree with you.
I
think they would disagree with you.
The thing about it is, hey, if he's guilty, he's guilty. Did he do something that was serious? No.
But
if
like
he
Al
did
Watkins said,
here's the problem. There's no proof of anything. If you break this down, there's a couple different things that complicate it. What was campaign financing a part of it? Was hush money paid? Even if it was, it's a misdemeanor. And guess what? There's no proof. That he got into the books. There's zero proof that he got into the books and changed something, that he took money from where it shouldn't have been to pay Stormy Daniels. We try to talk facts on the show. The only shred of anything that they have is that a phone call took place between Stormy and Donald Trump around the time that a check was given, allegedly. That's it. There's nothing else. Nothing. But many Americans get caught up in headlines, or if you hate somebody, you're going to look for information that establishes your point. If you're a Democrat, you want to find something that goes against Trump. Dude. So you're going to zoom over here if you can possibly find something. That's how it works.
There's no doubt what happened yesterday completely solidified. We are a country of you're either a Cardinal fan or you're a Cubs fan. Period.
Exactly. That is
yesterday,
true.
It basically you basically poured the epoxy
I saw a couple idiots in Cubs jerseys.
Oh my God! What
yesterday? I'm not kidding.
In an interleague game, that makes no sense.
I saw two guys wearing Cubs shirts.
Oh,
and the Cubs weren't even playing.
Dumbasses.
Yeah, dumbasses.
Yeah,
yeah, listen.
Stupid.
They are.
Anyway. So yesterday solidified it. I don't think it's going to move the numbers. It might for the primary. And as a matter of fact, you saw DeSantis kind of get out of the way a little bit yesterday and say,
dude, he's been blindsided.
If DeSantis runs for president,
it's 2028 for DeSantis or nothing.
No, DeSantis literally would need to have Trump say, I feel I'm on my deathbed.
Yeah.
I now give you the
Trump's
correct. I agree. Correct. Yes.
That is it right now. Because if you go against Trump right now, woo! I don't know.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want it.
30% lead over Ron DeSantis. It's done. And even DeSantis last night was going after Bragg. Now he is all on board. There is no doubt he supports Trump, and that's the only thing. That's his only play.
Yeah,
it's his only play. It is interesting. While in the midst of all of this was going on, I did see that Florida, they changed the law where Ron DeSantis, the governor, can run for president without giving up his position.
Yeah.
Florida did that in the midst of everything going on.
Yeah.
I thought that was fascinating. Of course, it's not going to get a headline.
No.
You have to go study. You have to look and see all the things that are going on with it. But it is fascinating. It's too bad it won't make a difference.
No, it will not make a difference, but you're starting to see the mix, whatever you're putting in the bowl. Now you're starting to see people mix it up a little bit. You're seeing the eggs be put in the flour, and now you're churning this thing up. And yesterday was basically a blender putting Trump way out in front. There's no one that's going to come. Chris Christie coming in the race doesn't matter. DeSantis coming in the race doesn't matter. I'm telling you, man.
They know.
I'm not saying he's going to be your next president. I'm not saying that. I think Joe Biden could have an amazing second wind. I'm kidding, of course. I just wanted to hear what that sounded like.
Well, Shasta County, California. They've eliminated Dominion voting machines.
Really?
Yes, they have.
Oh, there's a chance.
I'm telling you, there's so much news that comes out on days where everything is looking at one side.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, man, Eric, you always talk about what a fine oiled machine the Democratic Party is.
Boy, are they.
How they are assassins in the political arena. How they work well. How they work in the darkness of night.
It is
how they set the traps.
It's a fleet of
does all this
funnel
sound
spiders.
Familiar?
Yes.
You say this all the time.
Yes.
That they have superior intelligence at making Republicans.
Well, I didn't say anything about superior intelligence.
They're superior when it comes to warfare of the political kind.
No, they're the Borg. They all
Eric, if that is all true, and I agree with you.
Okay.
You know that they know what this would do for Donald Trump.
No, I disagree now.
Stop. They don't just lose their intelligence.
I disagree now.
And here's why, Eric.
I saw no fear in their faces yesterday.
Eric, this is why I say, I know we have different opinions, but I'm telling you right now, in my humble opinion, they absolutely know what this is going to do.
Mm-mm.
It divides the country even further. People who love Trump are only getting more on, and people are not going away, Eric. They're not.
Mm-mm.
I think if anything,
why do you think they
them.
Want that?
I think
because it becomes theater, because it becomes a spectacle, which is why I say something else is going on.
Yes.
I'm wondering, I said at the start of the show, is it the digital money that's coming? Is it something else? Is it Ukraine related? Something has to be going on right now, in my opinion, for Democrats to push this forward, even in the face of it making Trump even more popular, knocking DeSantis out, unless they think that Well, Biden has a better chance to beat Trump in an election if Biden's running.
Well, it's two things. Either Alvin Bragg is in coordination with the DNC, the Democratic National Committee, and they're
Of
like,
course, yes.
that could be possible. They're like,
For sure.
all right, Alvin, here's what we need you to do. You are the opening act in Operation Trump Takedown. You're the opening act. So on this date, at this time, I need you to do this. Yes, sir. And then he does it. Or
use your brain. We've been taught.
He's stupid as hell, and he's capitulating to the cocktail-toting Manhattanites, and he's like, I had to do this. I'm having too much pressure. No one's inviting me to parties anymore. So he had to do it on that level, and he did really screw things up. I don't think so. I think it's the other one. I think he is in coordination with the party, and they're trying to figure out.
But they can't do it. None of this hurts Trump. How does it hurt Trump?
It does.
Okay, explain to me how.
It does in the aesthetics of it, okay? Because now you're going to have T-shirts from Amazon that have Trump's face on it, right?
Oh, for sure. I might get
Okay.
one. Hey,
That's
I think
a
I'll get one.
positive
I'll wear it.
thing,
But it's a negative and a positive. We just talked about how we just solidified the polarization. You're either on this team or you're on that team. There's no more gray area.
That's my point.
No gray.
There's no gray area.
No gray
So
at all.
now you have this thing that both sides can use the same thing as a weapon.
We've already had
That's
that.
dangerous.
No, we haven't had that, because there are a lot of people out there that, would never vote for Trump for reason A. But now that it's like a constitutional problem, now they're going to go and maybe vote for Trump.
So
and the same on the other side.
So you think this is more damning to Trump than it is uplifting?
I don't know yet.
I think it's no doubt 100% more uplifting.
I know if Tabitha was here, she would throw things at me.
And especially when you see how this plays out and nothing really comes.
I mean, you have
Nothing
that it
is
was
gonna come
that
of
it was
it.
all
Nothing.
political theater,
Absolutely.
and to turn our little American minds, not all of us, but a lot of us, over here. Oh, we're doing this, and maybe not be looking at something else.
Yeah, I don't know how many people actually care about it either. I think that the word indictment goes right over a lot of people, Americans' heads, and they're going, indictment? Wasn't he indicted already? No, that was impeach. You know
You're
what I
right.
mean?
Many do not know the difference at all. They don't even know what it means.
Look what he's been through.
Yeah.
He's Teflon Don. Give me a break.
Teflon Don.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
grand jury after grand jury. I mean, the Russian collusion, which nothing was there. I mean, give me a break. The man has been through everything. And if you don't think, and we always say he could walk away. The man loves America. The man loves Americans. The man has been through all kinds of crap. He could walk away. He didn't make one penny in office, whereas Biden, the Biden family, Pelosi, Schiff, the list goes all the way down. Look at the money that's been made from a political standpoint. He didn't need it.
You would need some stone cold assassins
I'm just telling
in
you.
the Republican Party in the House right now to basically
And this
come
has
out.
nothing to do with whether he's kind or not. And there's a lot of videos that can prove that the media won't show you that he can be a very, very kind man. We all make mistakes. His mistakes that were on, they get shown. And I'm telling you, the man, how he is still standing and dealing with this stuff is amazing to me. I think it only helps.
Okay. We'll see.
That
I'm
guy-
just saying that it's, Trump is he's a polarizing figure. I guess we've left the days of being bored out of our ass about government until 2 months before the election. Like, remember when George W. Bush Sr. was running against, what's his name, Dukakis or
You're
whoever
right.
it was?
Because look at all the crap
We were
our
bored
country's
out of our
going through.
ass.
We were, and now it's exciting.
The candidate literally needed to get into a tank and ride it around on camera to make politics
Correct.
exciting back in the day.
Absolutely.
These days, you tune in and there's a full graphics package on Trump versus Biden or whatever
Every
it is.
day.
Now,
Yes, every day.
exactly. It's so you don't need the excitement anymore. You need less excitement now.
Michelle says Trump has been appointed by God. He is protected. God placed him as he wants everyone to wake up and see how we have been taken.
I agree with
by the
you.
so-called
I agree with
government.
her. I agree with her.
But then you got Drew Collins.
Why does that?
types.
How does that resonate with you, Lizzie?
I think that Trump was appointed by God for such a time as this because no one else could withstand what he's doing. From day one, when I found out that he was running, I did this dance in the kitchen as he was coming down the elevator. And my son was like, Why are you so excited about that? I said, because he cannot be bought. He will not be bought. And he loves America. And he is a badass. And he will fight to the end. And it's been proven right.
Here's a weird thing to think about.
Only God could have appointed him.
So Scotty just put a picture of Trump saluting in front of the flag, a la, George Patton back in the,
bam.
Love it. Love it, Scotty.
And basically, the word patriotism doesn't mean the same thing anymore to everybody. Think about that for a second. Patriotism in this country used to be, you would think of George Washington crossing the Delaware. You would think of the redcoats are coming through the woods. You would think of these little band of misfits fighting the #1 military power on the planet and winning and saying, I am a heritage of that. That's why you're a patriot. And then seeing what we did to rise up against Hitler and rise up against the Japanese, that you're a patriot. And then to go and say, we're America, we're free, you're a patriot. You've now come into a decade where the kids, the millennials and Gen Z, don't look at it that way anymore.
They don't.
And that is the scariest part of all of this.
Very scary.
It's like, do you realize what you're potentially giving up? The freedom to do anything, because you're going to be 40 one day. You're going to be 50 years old, and there's going to be a generation behind you that's going to persecute you. And you're under this Constitution in the United States that guarantee you can say anything you want. But here's the trade-off. You got to let everybody else say whatever they want as well.
Those who control the media control the messaging, and those who control the messaging control whatever, ever direction they're trying to get kids, younger people, whoever, to go in the direction that they want. Eric, that's part of the issue that's going on. But when it comes to the Trump, when it comes to the patriotism, when it comes to what's going on, it's up to parents. It's up to the outlets like ours, canceltheshow.com and others, to become as big as we possibly can, to get the messaging out, to share, subscribe, to continue to put out facts and let people go where they may.
Yeah.
If Donald Trump was committing or had committed some incredible crime, we would be all over it.
Yeah.
He didn't.
No.
And you're going to see. And you can't find liberal leaning Democratic lawyers, keep in mind, listen, in high positions who are saying that he is going to jail, that this is some serious thing. I haven't heard one. If somebody can find me one, let me know, and we'll break it down and see where they are. You won't. However, you see several right-leaning and attorneys who are down the middle speaking publicly going, listen, this is the old-fashioned, horrible, as you want to call it, Nazi communist attack. It's not going anywhere. They're going publicly on the record and saying this. You don't see the left saying that. You don't see Democrat attorneys going, oh my God, this is horrible. He's in trouble. No, it's all like, oh, he's been indicted. Oh, he's been indicted. Listen to people. They will show you who they are. We say it time and time again. Listen to the facts. Don't get caught up in the headlines. It's theater. Donald Trump has just won the primary if he continues to run and he's healthy to do so. And who knows what's going to happen from the left.
Well, they're dumbasses. I mean, again, to go with the word dumbasses, if they literally think that this is okay to do this to an ex-president, in my opinion, he's still the president, that the election was stolen. However, they are dumbasses. They really don't get, to your point, Eric, you're exactly right. Either they don't get it or they're even being influenced. I've seen someone, and I won't mention his name, that was an afternoon host that used to be my neighbor. He was a conservative.
Yeah.
And now he's a liberal just because his dumbass son went to a liberal school and they did the BLM march and all that. Yeah. And now he was swayed by his millennial son.
Can I add to that?
Yes, please do.
I can't say names, but I've worked with somebody in my recent past who had 2 children who went to a, quote, Christian school, Christian private school. The kids became ultra left and liberal.
Yes.
And that started to sway the parent.
That's what's going on. Vic is exactly right. I've seen it. It happens in Christian schools.
Be careful.
And
very well-to-do school.
Yes.
In the St. Louis metropolitan area.
Interesting.
Vic is right on it.
Don't you feel like The liberals are Tanya Harding, and the conservatives are Nancy Kerrigan.
Yes, that's a good analogy, but it's right. Then
You're going in the Wayback Machine for that one.
But you know what,
Scotty, you know I'm telling the truth.
I'm a little offended by that.
When was that again? Was that circa 90s? Oh,
that's so true. Somebody on this feed in the past told me I look like Tanya Harding. So let's just say I'm not a liberal here.
Just don't have Jeff Gillooly running around with you.
So jumping back to the movie being made and Al Watkins, right? So
Yeah.
you said Al Pacino. I know who will play Al Watkins.
Who's going to play Al Watkins?
There's the picture right here.
Oh, jeez.
Here we go.
Jeff
Oh,
Goldblum.
perfect.
Yes.
That's
Jeff Goldblum.
exactly right. Love it.
With a little perm? Or not perm.
Fantastic.
Doesn't that look like him, though?
Nailed it.
The glasses.
Yes.
It's
love
Goldblum.
it.
It's Goldblum.
And as much as we love Al and we say this affectionately, Goldblum's a little quirky too.
Yeah.
Oh, it would be perfect. Dead on. You nailed it.
I'll keep going and see if I can build the movie.
What can we
before the
name
end
the
of show.
movie? The Shaman and the Man. A love story from St. Louis.
Love it. That's so good.
Oh my goodness.
It's got love and intrigue.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's where we have gone.
Too, Eric.
We were having such a good serious talk.
I know.
And you had to make us laugh.
perfect.
How dare you make us laugh, Scotty, on a Friday?
You know, we need it. We need it.
We do need it, Scotty, really bad.
Yeah, we were supposed to have an artificial intelligence massive deep dive today. We've pushed that to next Friday for our paranormal because there was so much to get into and this big Trump situation. We posted this before as we had a call to action. Our marketing team put that in, raising sales, defendtrump.org, defendtrump.org. You can sign a petition. That is going out. That is being put up there. Heck, even Carrie Lake was tweeting. She ran for governor, of course, in Arizona. A lot of political people think she could be somebody to jump in with Donald Trump at some point in time, whether that's true or not.
Mm-hmm.
She was even tweeting out. She's like, if anybody truly loves this country, if anybody truly loves Donald Trump, imagine what has been done to him, what continues to be done to him ever since he entered politics. Old friends of his, friends who used to take his money, who he donated to their campaigns, who he hosted in lavish events, who he hosted on business trips, on vacations, immediately became his arch enemy because he said, I'm running as a Republican. All of them turned their back on Donald Trump and everything that he's been to. She's actually asking, donate to Donald Trump, his campaign. You can donate to DonaldTrump.com. I think you can. DonaldTrump.com is what Carrie Lake tweeted out as well. Like, help him. Every dollar counts.
You know how Donald Trump actually got, well, he was always kind of hanging around the Republican National Conventions. He started back in the Reagan days, back in the 80s. But you know how he really solidified running for president?
How?
Because China was basically eating our lunch as far as imports and exports. That's how he had a interview. Go watch it with Greta Van Susteren. She was on Fox, I believe. And she basically said, why don't you just run? And you could see a light go off in his eyes as soon as he said it. He goes, well, I might. You never know. And I think that he was literally running as us. And I've never seen so much blowback against a guy that all he was trying to do is help the American people, not be taken advantage of in import export. These guys are charging us tariffs. We're not charging them tariffs. I'll run for president. And then before you knew it, you had CNN, MSNBC. Really what kicked off the bad feeling for Trump was when he went after Jim Acosta and those guys in his press conferences. He was just sitting there yelling at him.
Time out. You've got it 100% wrong, Eric.
Okay.
I'm not trying to be mean.
No. I'm willing to learn.
Jim Acosta was the biggest, let's just say, Richard Dick you could ever imagine. He was abrasive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he
well,
was not,
yes.
and I know media. He was intentionally being a jackass, asking, not accepting answers, trying to make the entire press conference about himself. He was paid by CNN, Soros funded, all over the place, intentionally lying, intentionally trying to mix the president's words. That guy was a complete ass. He had no business even having a media pass.
Yes.
Donald Trump gave him time and time and time and time, and then finally poked the bear enough Be a jackass to the bear enough, and then the bear will start to treat you as you are.
Yeah.
He
nothing.
got what he deserved.
And all
You're
Acosta,
right on, Vic.
Acosta had no journalistic integrity whatsoever. He was a complete jackass. He went in with a mission of what he was going to do. He did not go in with the mission to find out what was actually happening. That's not a journalist. That's a political assassin.
Dude, it's the truth. But that was the beginning of this weird
Could
era
not
of
stand that
media.
guy. That's why you see the passion come from me with that.
And then it elevated with your buddy, what's his name, Chris Cuomo. He elevated.
Yes.
And then you started watching the Don Lemon guy elevate that, and the Rachel Maddow, and then you started to feel this weird vibe because Hillary lost the election. That it was like everyone was so pissed. It was like
crying
and crying.
And why do you think the attacks continued on Donald Trump?
Right.
And
From
then
day one, the Russia collusion. Oh, the media don't want to talk about that.
and then the
made up circus.
And then the leftist Marxist Hillary Clintons, they wanted to tip their toe. This is my theory anyway. They wanted to tip their toe in using the levers of government, the government that nobody sees, the upper floor of the FBI. Let's just see if we can get away with this. Here's a dossier. Go tell somebody about this dossier. We'll be over here if you need us. And they did it. And it worked to a certain extent, right? I feel like there was that door got kicked open in the last few years. Now they're using these prosecutors. They're using CIA goes to these, and all of the DOD and the Homeland Security guys go towards these committees, and they don't comment on anything.
Eric, you predicted this was going to happen 2 years ago, whether you realize it or not, on our radio show, The Edge. You predicted that there'd be a time where we would have somewhat of a civil war, where we would go into individual states, where states would become a bastion of whatever you believed in, whatever you felt strongly about.
Yeah.
Very true.
And you see it with New York, you see it with California, and then on the flip side, you see it in Florida, you see it in Texas, you see it in Iowa. To some extent, you see it in Missouri. That's what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
You go, and who's ever in the upper echelons of government can do what they want to do. Kim Gardner, nothing would happen in New York, in LA, in Minnesota, in Portland, in any of the liberal cities. It would not happen. It would not happen. It happens in the state of Missouri because you have an attorney general who's conservative and has the ability with evidence to go and take that evidence to the highest levels and actually try something. It wouldn't happen with a Democratic attorney general.
No.
That's our country.
Not at all.
I think that if the not revolt, that's the wrong word. Revolution, I hate that word. That's a stupid word. But the people, I think that states...
Backlash is the word you've always used.
Okay, I'll take that one. I think states are going to have to market themselves as we are a non-George Soros state. We have laws against George Soros. Prosecute. I mean, I think that eventually that's what you're going to see. You're going to say, come to Florida. We have no George Soros prosecutors here. Our cities are safe. Your money is safe. I think that wait 20 years, Lizzie. You're going to see. You're going to see.
As long as the states don't identify as pronouns and we get to that.
Well, hey, Scotty, hold on.
I mean, but that's what you're saying. The state could be whatever they want. Well, we want to be a better.
Envision the commercial in your head.
Just...
Envision the commercial. Hold on.
Hopefully, I'm dead. Gone.
I mean,
by then.
No, you're not. You're going to live a long time and make a lot of albums. Here's the deal. You got to think of it like this. Late night infomercial. Come to Montana. The state of secure cities. Come to Montana. We have it's luxury.
I already.
Do you see it?
Yes,
the states do have to be the one that are doing the work.
I see the country
sign up now and get 20% off your U-Haul. Seriously, I'm not messing with you guys. I'm serious about this. There's going to come a day when maybe they even invest in their own military to take care of themselves. Like you've lost us. You have disgraced yourself as a federal entity. Come here. We'll protect our citizens. And it may be the United States. There's no reconciling this. I don't know how you
don't, Eric, and it's by plan.
I don't know how you
Eric,
swear
are you hanging around Marjorie Taylor Greene?
No, I am not.
That's what she's saying.
But I'm not. Look, I'm not saying. Look, she's nuts. Okay, let's just say it out loud.
Well, sometimes
because
not all,
and
the
we're
time.
all nuts. We're all crazy. If you think you're not crazy, you're nuts.
Oh, I'm nuts.
Everybody has these opinions in the dark of night, and I'm not even saying this is a negative thing.
It's a good thing.
I'm not saying you need to. I'm just saying, imagine a governor saying, "Our goal," and this should be every leader's goal. Listen to me. Don't interrupt.
Don't interrupt. Vic.
Every leader's goal.
Interrupted you for a while.
Here's every leader's goal. Your economic development, you want to show a year-to-year bump in your domestic products. You want to show that you are the safest in your urban areas. Every rural area can stay safe, but your urban areas is where it gets important. You maybe part of the marketing message, come to Montana, or Idaho or something like that. Our cities are safe, and you show video footage of these 14-year-olds are walking down the street at 2 a.m.
Well,
They're
it
not
all
getting
gets back
creamy.
to your upper government, Eric. I get what you're saying.
Okay, you see what I'm saying? So it's not. It's to me. No, this is not Margie Taylor Greene. I'm sorry. No. This is common sense approach to marketing a state of where you want people. It's like the Villages.
But how did you get into all of this from what's happening to Donald Trump?
Oh, because
the Villages do like Donald Trump.
Look at me. Listen to me, guys. The Villages market themselves as upscale retirement living.
Have to be over 55. Right? Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's what we can do with the states. The Villages only on a state level. You see what I'm saying? And I don't think
this is where you're going to promote your living where you like to live.
He's going to go.
Delmar Gardens is not cutting it for me. But
he's got to get out of
Delmar. We're still waiting on your advertising since Eric is a resident.
Look, I'm just saying you are not going to compete with the 20-year-old Gen X who wants to marry their farm animals next is what's coming.
Oh my God.
But you're not good. But you can put states together where it's like we have put laws together, and I see this one coming.
It could happen, Eric.
Where we put a law together that you are not allowed to run for any office in our state where you take George Soros money. Imagine that law.
Yeah, but there's conservatives on the other side.
What?
People could say if you take money from conservatives.
Well, then go to that state. Have fun in New York.
It could happen.
It's wonderful in the spring.
No, and it all gets back to the whole situation.
And I hope you realize I'm not saying that's a bad thing. If you want to live in Illinois in a dilapidated state that does not have the money or the manufacturing infrastructure or the tax base anymore to support the small towns around Chicago or Chicago for that matter, then go live in Illinois. You can get a fantastic state job working on the highways and make a good pension.
Well,
knock yourself out.
Well, we're pretty much there already, Eric, because as we see when there's any presidential election, you look at the map. And if you look at that map, what does most of the map color look like?
It's red.
It's red. And then you have blue areas where?
On the coast.
California.
Cities.
New York.
Big cities.
Minneapolis. It's the cities, but the whole state. Maybe Wisconsin, Michigan sometimes in there. But Michigan, I lived there for 11 years. It's while there's a lot of great patriots, a lot of great conservatives in that state, it still tends. They have a Democratic governor. You'll see that. That's where they are, Eric. Those are where the issues are. And then look at the politicians and the people making some of those decisions are from California, New York.
I don't know what to tell you. Then go live there.
So we're already, I think, starting to see some of the things that you talk about. It is happening where we're divisive. And then this whole situation with what we call a joke, a fake indictment, at most a misdemeanor, but let's blow it out all over the place. And the sad thing is that most Americans don't understand what an indictment is. They don't understand that it's not a significant issue. They don't understand all the facts of the case, that there is no evidence of Donald Trump doing any, no hardcore evidence of him doing anything. There's just not. It's all circumstantial, and we're going to throw stuff against the wall because that's why it makes sense to you, Eric, but it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, and
the Democrats would give him more publicity, more popularity, and make sure that he will definitely defeat Ron DeSantis if they face off.
Yeah, I know you're right.
If he declared against Donald Trump. Because he still hasn't. We need to remember that.
Is it getting to be time when, as an American citizen, you go, I don't have faith in other Americans. I don't have
I
faith.
think we're already there.
I don't have faith of you morons in St. Louis voting for some of the morons that you just voted for.
Eric,
Yes.
I have friends who think
True.
you and me are morons for saying what we've said today.
Give me an example. I will take any criticism. You know that's
thinking
right.
that Donald Trump would be a good
Who cares about
president
Trump?
again.
Let's not.
That you just asked me the question.
Yeah, but let's not
They
worry about
think you're a
Trump.
moron and I'm a moron for backing Trump if he were a president again.
Okay, let's say Trump flew to Mars and he never came back. You still pulled the lever for Cori Bush. You still pulled the lever for Tashara Jones.
Eric,
those were a
small amount of people.
No.
Now you're turning into St. Louis City.
Well, fine. That's
those
where
are
we
a
live.
small amount of people in St. Louis City that went out and voted.
You still didn't get your lazy ass off the couch to go vote for someone else. How about that? You still voted for Kim Gardner. How moronic do you have to be as an American citizen living in what used to be one of the great cities in the United States to do what you've done to your society? I do have a problem with that. I'm like, what are you thinking?
Eric, if you're a Democrat, no matter where you live across this country, most people aren't changing parties that often.
Do you not have the ability?
In New York, in California, in St. Louis City, it's not changing. St. Louis County voted for Democrat St. Louis County executive going back to the 90s.
And then I ask you this. So you're telling me that a liberal doesn't have the ability to understand cause and effect?
No,
I think many of them.
What I said is, Eric,
you're the smart one. You're the elite
what
smart
I'm saying is, and have you ever heard me talk about pride on this show? You've heard me talk about it a lot. People can't get past their pride to open their mind to actually listen to the argument of the other person, to look at facts to change your mind.
But they can't go sit in a kitchen with a cup of coffee and go, if I vote for this moron, my community is going to be really unsafe. Let's go vote for that moron.
We're always told you should never talk about politics and what in public. Religion. And I have noticed in my life that there's two things where people are the most prideful about.
Yeah.
Religion and politics. No matter what facts, no matter what information is brought to the table, it doesn't seem like there's very open-mindedness. That's why we want liberals to come on the show. That's why we've had them in studio so we can talk and get the ideas. Eric, to you and I, it makes sense. What the truck are you guys thinking?
But I think more and more are starting to recognize that, because a statistic came out, and I hope I'm getting this close to correct, but St. Louis City has been down over the last 2 years, like 7,000 or 8,000. And even, and it's probably because of
down what?
In population.
Moving. They moved. And even in St. Louis County.
297,000 people now in St. Louis City.
People are leaving in droves St. Louis County too. So people are waking up. Even if their politics don't change, they didn't like being stuck in their house with a mask on their face, and they thought all this was great. But they're still there. They're still in St. Louis.
Yeah.
But what does make me mad, and I've said it before on the show, is those moving out here leave the crap that you left there.
You don't get that, Lizzie. You don't
You're
get that.
No, they bring it out. You see masks now in Warren County. It's ridiculous.
I think that anybody, if you're listening on this podcast or whatever we're calling this thing right now, and you're not in St. Louis,
we're a live TV audio show podcast, Eric.
If you go take your Southwest Airlines pass and fly out here to KSTL, that's the airport code, go put that in, and just come out here from a Friday through a Monday, I want you to do this. I want you to go to St. Louis proper and go stay at the old Marriott right there by the old Busch Stadium, or the old stadium, and walk around at night. Then I want you to get in your car and come out to St. Charles, Missouri, which is beautiful. There's a lot. You can stay at the Ameristar.
The city looked great last night.
Stay at the Ameristar.
I was there.
Fine.
I got in my car at about 8:00 last night. It was opening day, but I'm telling you, it was
okay. Well, we'll go down there on a Thursday night when nothing's going on.
It was
then
great.
Come over to St. Charles, stay at the Ameristar, right? You will notice it's very liberal in this place called the Streets of St. Charles. It's liberal. It's very upscale. It's very elite. It's a very elite. They got a Napoli there. They got a Napoli.
Stop, Eric.
It is liberal. It is liberal.
What?
It is very.
How can you call the Streets of St. Charles liberal? What does it even
I'm about to get to the point. The point is that you have the elitists, the guys with the money, the what you might consider an elitist Democrat. They are able to live.
A conservative.
Okay, they are conservative, fine, whatever. But you'll also notice this. It's safe. It's economically fit. After hours, we have a patrol with a helicopter that is looking for people coming from the city stealing cars. You have highway patrol out there. You have highways that have been taken care of, and you have people who basically live in a calm, secure economic area of St. Louis. It's the tale of two cities. So get on an airplane and then come here, and you'll find out exactly what we're talking about. It's the separation, not by skin color, but by I want to be safe and economic, or I want to be in an urban sprawl.
All right. Do you think
the streets of St. Charles is not liberal?
It is, Vic.
All right.
No, it's not. What is
yes,
it?
It is.
Eric, it's St. Charles
Lizzie,
County.
help me out here.
It's not liberal.
St. Charles City tends to be more democratic than, say, coming out to Dardine Prairie. It's still a Republican town, but it is shifting a little bit more.
I don't know what you're trying to say. Streets.
I'm saying that you do have people who
entertainment district liberal.
It is. It is. But it's not a bad thing.
Not liberal.
It's not a bad thing.
Eric, are you saying this?
Restaurants aren't liberal.
Well, he's saying this because there were definitely in streets of St. Charles signs that said BLM for quite a while. I don't know that they're liberal or they're just using that as, please don't come and loot my store. I'm not sure which that is.
I don't know what Eric's saying, but the streets of St. Charles is safe. It's great. St. Charles.
It is safe.
It is safe. It's great. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
St. Charles is more safe than any other place.
And he made my point for me, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Here's the deal.
Oh my God.
It's because no matter what you subscribe to in St. Charles, you have this amazing police force with a prosecutor that will take your ass down. And
are you sure?
Well,
what do you mean?
Never mind. And then you just have people who value safety.
Well, maybe the next one.
As a matter of fact, we had a lady get shot in a Schnucks here in St. Louis in the face, and 3 days later, they caught him. That would have never happened in St. Louis.
By the way, the St. Charles County prosecutor, Tim Lamar, is resigning, said he just didn't have time to do it anymore. So Eric brings that up, and that's why we have to say, well, we'll see whenever we get a new prosecutor in St. Charles County area.
Odds are they're going to be great.
CancelThisShow.com, rocking and rolling just over an hour. We're going to take a quick break. Check out our advertisers, please. Let them know you heard about them from CancelThisShow.com. If you use them, they're fantastic. They've partnered with us. We appreciate everything you guys do as supporters. If you can, donate to our cause. Help us keep this free speech, this kind of programming going out. You can do so at CancelThisShow.com. When we come back, just wait till you see this video. Ho, this is Lizzie's son-in-law pretty much being berated at the Capitol. He is a state representative. He's a black man, a biracial man, being ridiculed by another black representative.
You won't believe it.
It blew my mind. This is what's going on, and it may make Eric's blood boil when he sees what was going on. We're going to get into that. We'll break that down for you as well. That's big coming up.
Yeah.
We'll continue the Trump talk. If there's anything else you guys have going on, let us know. Also, a massive story. If you think that national media and national government are not working together, think again, because now you have national media outlets putting orders out to their staff that they can't use a certain word in describing the shooter from Nashville. Let's just say that word starts with a T. Blows my mind. All right, it's CancelThisShow.com. Back after about 2 minutes. Share the show, subscribe, like. We'll be right back. Happy Friday, March 31st.
Waited, and now here, the unveiling of the latest Carroll House lifestyle collection. I'm Brooke with my sister Amy, inviting me to see 3 football fields of the latest styles.
Our new lifestyle collections are premium quality furniture made exclusively for us and available only at Carroll House.
The attention to detail is unmatched, and so is the value, nearly half the price of a tip gallery store.
Plus, get free financing, delivery, and in-home design. Carroll House, because you like nice things.
You may know the home of the Cancel This studio is located at the all-inclusive private jet hangar Strategic Air Services. Founded in Chesterfield, Missouri, they take pride in offering a meticulous approach to private aviation through services that fully manage your trip from takeoff to landing. Strategic Air Services is more than just storage for your aircraft. They offer state-of-the-art amenities to its members and guests. When you are not traveling, you have the luxury of enjoying their world-class gym, conference rooms, lounges, and so much more. Strategic Air Services Services offers an unparalleled luxury experience for all things private aviation. If you're looking for a new place to call home for your aircraft, give them a call today at 636-400-7601. Again, that's 636-400-7601, or visit their website at strategicairservices.net.
If you are having a bad day at work, I can help. Hi, this is Curtis Barks with Complete Auto Body and Repair. We just expanded to Cottleville and St. Peters and are looking for qualified automotive and auto body technicians that would want to work in a climate-controlled environment. That's right, we offer a fully climate-controlled, air-conditioned and heated facility in both Cottleville and St. Peters. Visit us at CompleteAB.com. If it's not perfect, it's not complete. Others can't compete with Complete Auto Body.
Dad and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
He fixes cars.
Kathy O. Big Strick, owner of Experienced Real Estate Partners with eXp, has been one of St. Louis, Missouri's highest selling groups for 26 years running. In that time, Kathy and her team have successfully assisted an incredible 4,000 families. So if you're thinking about buying, building, or selling, be sure to put Kathy's group and their experience to work for you, and you can expect to be moved. Just give her a call at 314-276-SOLD. That's 314-276-7653, or find her online at experience-re.com.
So are you ready to be the grill master this summer? Well, look no further than Pixie Dust Seasoning. Our custom seasoning blends will take your barbecue to the next level. With 9 different blends to choose from, you will have the perfect flavors for any meat or veggie. And the best part is, our seasonings are low sodium and healthy, so you can indulge guilt-free. Whether you're hosting a big party or just cooking a late-night dinner, Pixie Dust Seasoning is the secret ingredient that you would thank us for. So head on over to our site at www.pixiedustseasoning.com to see our store locator, and I'm sure we'll have a store near you.
And when you visit the site, be sure to use the code name Vic so they know you came from CancelThisShow.com. Winty's in the Chesterfield Valley, if you don't know, is a family-owned business that has been around since 1994, serving some of the best chicken wings in town, no joke. Also known for their fresh burgers, pizza, and incredible smoked meat. Top-notch happy hour specials are included, plus live music every Friday and Saturday. Oh yeah, you can also enjoy their spacious heated covered patio. It's Winty's in the Chesterfield Valley, 18,000 Chesterfield Airport Road. Welcome back, everybody. It's Cancel This. It's a Friday. We're having a great time. Lots of energy. March 31st. Appreciate you jumping in for Cancel This. If you don't know what we do, we're Monday to Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central. We're a live TV audio podcast, CancelThisShow.com. How do you watch us? How do you listen to us? CancelThisShow.com. You can watch us live. You can also watch us taped. Every segment, every show that we produce, an anchor and put in goes right to our library. You can check out all of our original content. Please check it out. Share that as well. A lot of it's evergreen. It goes to what's happening in the country. With that being said, you can also listen to us. You don't have to watch us. You can listen to us on the go. You can go to CancelThisShow.com for the platform. All kinds of platforms there to watch, all kinds of platforms there to listen, and that's what we do. Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Normally on Fridays, we do a Paranormal Friday, Free-for-All Friday, Whatever Friday. Next Friday, it's all about AI, artificial intelligence. It is jumped into big news this week. Massive, massive, massive news. Hell, what'd you say, Eric, today when you came in? Did you say the inventor of AI said, shut it down, you're going to die?
So the inventor of AI says, shut it down, or there's 1,000% chance that AI will kill every human on the planet.
Get out.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, man.
We got another week to study that
Holy
to
cow.
get ready for next Friday.
Help
us.
Wow,
Help
that's
us.
scary.
It's like the new Noah's Ark, if you think about it.
It is like the new Noah's Ark.
Dun, dun, dun. Eric Johnson's here. Lizzie Sparks, Scotty Gherkin. I'm Vic Faust. Tabitha Hassel is off today.
Is she?
Yeah.
She's partying today.
Okay.
No.
She's having a big old party.
No, she's taking care of things, so she's getting things done. She'll be back Monday. We'll be back Monday as well. We appreciate it if you guys have ideas, shows, ideas for shows, guests, let us know. Of course, those who may not know what we do. It's all about news headlines, politics, society, and cancel culture interviews, anything that goes with that said. So, okay. Love having these topics, love getting into these conversations. We're going to continue to talk Trump throughout the day. We're going to get into how national media outlets like CBS, CNN, MSNBC are refusing to use one word in describing the Nashville shooter, which should piss you off.
Oh,
but
it does.
We have to get into something else that may upset you. Is this right or wrong for representative to be treated like this? Did you want to set this up, Lizzie? Do we have videos ready to go, Scotty?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, Lizzie, you want to set this up and who we're seeing?
Absolutely. My son-in-law, Justin Hicks, is a Missouri state representative in Missouri. So for any of you nationally where this is at, it's a suburb of St. Louis County, but the far western region of St. Charles County. And then he was yesterday, he's part of the group. I'm very proud of him that they were voting on a budget and they passed a bill in the budget that states that the state funds cannot be used for diversity, equality, and inclusion programs. So that's good. So basically, Missouri will not fund CRT, BLM, any of those sorts of things, transgender, talk, any of that. So it very much angered a lady who is Black. And why this is relevant is her name is Marlene Terry, and she's from like North County area, which is a suburb also of St. Louis.
She's also a state rep.
She's a state rep. They're both a state rep. My son-in-law is biracial and she is Black, and the videos will speak for themselves, but she became enraged or like very angry at my son-in-law, who is representing a whole group of Republicans that don't want the CRT crap and all this transgender talk and all of that. The Democrats became very enraged. And you'll see there's 3 little short videos, and you're going to want to see all 3, how a Black person treated another Black person. It's unreal.
And as you hear this, I want you to know that this woman claims to be a Christian. She goes to a Baptist church in Florissant and acts like she is a very hardcore Christian woman before you listen to the video.
I wonder, what did it take for you, sir, to get elected out of St. Charles to sit in your seat? I want to hear that story.
Yeah, I had to work on my own merit and pretty much promote the principles I believe in, which is freedom, equality for all, which I believe that America does. And that's how I got elected into my position. I didn't get elected into my position because of the color of my skin or doing any race baiting stuff that it seems like you're promoting here.
Booyah!
Okay, well said, Justin. But
there's
that's
another one to follow that one up.
Yeah, we've got 2 more videos to show you.
Can I ask you what you identify as?
Identify?
Ethnicity?
I identify as an American.
Not an African American? Are you African American?
Ladies and gentlemen, I will remind the body to remain poised with decorum. There will be no celebrations.
And there's still another one. You won't believe it.
Equality for all, which I believe that America does. And that's how I got elected into my position. I didn't get elected into my position because of the color of my skin or doing any race baiting stuff that it seems like you're promoting here.
Oh, I'm promoting race baiting? I'm promoting race baiting? No, I think you're promoting privilege, tokenism.
I didn't come from a privileged background.
Oh, really?
I grew up in St. Louis County where my mother.
Where did you grow up at? Tell me that.
In Overland is where I grew up. In Overland. Wasn't a privileged family at all. My father passed when I was 12. My mom raised me and 2 of my other brothers. She was lower income. I had to work my butt off to get where I am today and to.
Shame on you.
Lady, your time has expired. Further.
Okay, I don't understand the decorum in this. In the is that the house?
Why is that even relevant on where he grew up or anything?
Exactly. There's so much to break down. Basically, Lizzie had just said because they had just passed a bill. So they're talking about, they had already passed it, right, Lizzie?
Correct. And she became very angry. Enraged because she wants this BLM, this CRT, all of this. The Republican Party in Jeff City right now, honestly, is killing it, and they are doing the right thing.
Well, because they have the numbers.
That's true. Because
they're dominant.
Well, they'll always have the numbers in Missouri.
There's not one Democrat, for people who know, not one Democrat has been elected in one of the bigger political positions in the state of Missouri. Not one. Nicole Galloway was the last one when she was state
wasn't she the
treasurer? Auditor.
So
that was the last one.
Ask your son-in-law this. What's the decorum in the House that you can talk directly to another member and chastise them? I didn't think that was even allowed.
It's a circus,
Eric,
right now.
It happens. It
does?
It happens in every state. However, is it right? No. Is what this woman, a black woman, to another, and most black people will call, even if you have a white parent and a black parent, we're just breaking the colors, we'll call you black. So she is attacking.
She's racist.
Another man. 100%.
She's racist. She's literally.
How dare her? So, what do you identify as?
Yes.
Is there another African American
Marlene,
in that body that can step up and defend him?
You would hope so.
Is there?
I don't know if anyone.
They were clapping. That's
the Republicans were clapping. They did not agree with her.
Well, yeah, but you need another African American, I'm afraid. That sucks to say that, to say, excuse me, ma'am, sit your ass down. This guy's as patriotic as they come.
He did a great job by himself.
No, he did. But to really shut her up and to really, it's like BLM versus a well thought out individual.
Right.
To be honest,
the one thing about Justin is he can shut her down by himself,
and he did.
He was not rattled at all by her, which I would have been rattled, but he wasn't rattled. I'm sure he did not say this because he speaks nicer than I do, but I'm sure in his head he was going, "What a dumbass." That's the name of the word.
Well, as you break this down, the problem is, she basically was ripping him for, quote, not being, quote, as black as she was.
Exactly.
And as street as she
Well, she called him token. That is the word.
She called him a freaking token.
Yes.
I'm sickened by that.
She called him more off that we don't eat. I didn't even bring here today.
Privileged?
She called him an Uncle Tom and all of those things.
She just brought her whole arsenal out, didn't she?
She did. She did.
But Eric, the sad thing is this isn't the first time this has happened. I mean, look at Tim Scott in South Carolina. What has happened to him by white Democrats ripping him over. Schumer's treated him with so much disrespect, yet once again, national media, state media will not cover what happens. If you are black, if you are biracial, and you disagree with other black Democrats, you get called these things. The fact that she did this to him, I don't know, when Eric talks about decorum, Lizzie, if there's any way to sanction, to stop her, to at least publicly admonish her for doing it. Because guess what? If the table was turned and Justin was saying something, or a white politician was asking her those questions.
Oh, it would be unreal, the screaming and hollering that would have gone on.
It's just, let's be fair.
I mean, could you imagine
we got enough problems in politics?
A liberal white politician from Kansas City, and she goes after your son-in-law and calls him the names that she called him, which is totally, I mean, they have the same ideology.
Sure.
That would be ethical grounds for, wouldn't that be an ethical problem?
This is the Missouri State Capitol. You know what? Here,
why
just the elephant in the room, and here's where it is. He's very well spoken. He presents himself in a good way. He's a Republican, and she was trying to get at that he had, and she called him privileged without knowing anything about a token and privileged. And she was wrong. She fell flat on her face. She was elected in 2020, so she's been around for about 3 years. She was a longtime accountant at BJC Healthcare Systems. I read her bio. And she is attacking this young man who, by the way, is new on the scene and shaking some crap up. And it's one of the best things that can happen for Republicans in the state of Missouri.
Send this to Tucker Carlson. He'll use
especially a biracial, young, intelligent lawyer who sits back and lets this woman make an absolute fool of herself.
It's almost like it reminds me of that scene in The Exorcist when the priest is throwing water on the what's her name, and she's just going crazy. That's what this legislation is. It's like the holy water to try to fix our communities.
Yes.
And the liberals are
great analogy.
Their heads are turning and vomits coming out of their mouth.
The
and
demons in them are coming out.
Well, Glenn Thompson has a great quote. And if you remember, as Biden did say this, quote, he's, quote, clean and he's articulate. And that upsets her because he's a Republican and doesn't agree with her, how she speaks, how she presents herself. It's not very professional. She wasn't provoked. He hasn't been provoking her. No, she got provoked because she didn't like an outcome.
Correct. She was very upset with the outcome, which tells me a lot that a lady like her wants to talk about somebody's racial qualities as opposed to safeguarding children.
Yeah.
She doesn't care. She would just rather attack someone than save children. I mean, that's even the bigger issue there, besides calling Justin names, which it just shows us who
it's
she
just
is.
right now we're in a period. And thank you tell your son I said thank you. Would you do that?
I'm sure he's listening.
Okay. Well, thank you for your service. You're like the new Marine. You're literally the guy that's at our front line. You're our new Army. You're our front line of defense here. And I really appreciate him. And it just seems to me like we are in an era where the plane has lost so much control and stability in flight, and the Republicans are just trying to get the damn thing to fly straight so they can figure out how to land it eventually. And that's what this vote was all about. It was like, look, this doesn't solve anything. It's just we're not paying for any of this garbage until we can figure this stuff out. That's all this was. It was just getting a hold of the yoke a little bit and keeping the plane flying straight.
The thing that upsets me the most about the video, and of course there's things in everyday life that happen, is the fact that this was 100% race baiting.
100%.
100. Now,
I don't think he cared about that.
No, he didn't.
He looked like
here's
it didn't
the thing.
bother him.
Idiot.
I hope that, Lizzie, this should be sent to local media. As Eric said, it should be sent to, Fox News National, anybody else to play, to show what actually happens if you're biracial, if you're black and disagree with Democrats. It's wrong, it's sad, and it needs more attention, because when you do disagree with what the narrative is of the Democratic Party, if you're a black person, you suffer.
Yeah.
It's how dare you? The people try to, quote, cancel you.
They do.
Of your own race, and try to force you into that thinking.
Yeah.
The great thing is that we're starting to see a change, a shift.
Yes.
And we started to see it with Donald Trump, which was a good thing. Now, it takes time, but at the same point in time, nobody should have to undergo that. He did not provoke her in any way.
No, but you're
It's
right.
called
I
race
agree.
bait.
I look at it as
it's
the reparations culture now.
Mm-hmm.
So that we've moved past the Michael Brown culture. We've moved past all of that garbage. Now we're into the reparations culture, where those people in San Francisco got theirs. I want mine. And I think they look at this critical race theory. They look at reparations. They look at, this is our time to do it or not do it. And they're freaking out that, you know what? The American people are on to them. You guys had a shot at it. We saw what you were. I think we figured out what you're trying to do now, and we're going to start shutting some of these plugged holes. And I think that was the frustration you saw on that lady's face.
Mary says, someone said, if you're not being canceled, you're doing something wrong.
I would agree. Yes, they're attacking Justin from every angle, so he's clearly doing something right.
Can he come on the air? Is he?
Sure, he's been on once. But
Eric,
can we get him on to talk about this next week-ish?
I'll ask.
Is that possible?
Whenever.
Justin, you're listening, so we'll get with you after the show.
Because I'd love to hear it from him. He's probably very it's all good. Don't worry about
modest.
it.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It's a Friday. Justin, if you're listening, give us a call.
Really.
Well, actually, we would give you the video link. Let Scotty know.
Yeah.
Or Lizzie, you can send. I've got a video link too, if there's any way, just to let him know, or have him text me.
Yeah,
and I can send him the video link so he could jump in from that standpoint and talk. It was just one of those things when you sent it, I was like, dear God, what else can happen on a Thursday as we get set for a Friday?
Yeah.
We've got the St. Charles County prosecutor resigning. We've got the Trump indictment. We've got Jacob Chansley, the shaman, being released early from prison. And then another story that came down last night, as I saw. Now you have a push from the national media, and a strong push, which was led by CBS. At least there was a memo that was actually caught. And then all you have to do is look at the other outlets. They're refusing. And CBS told their staffers, under no circumstances will you call the Nashville shooter of the Christian school, the Presbyterian school, transgender. We will not identify the shooter as being.
They're the ones that did it in the first place.
In the first place, yes. And now they don't want to talk about it because it doesn't fit their narrative.
Well, then you started to see that in 4 of the most recent shootings involved transgender people. Once again, you can't make this stuff up. So, as Eric likes to say, omission of truth is a lie. And I have to agree.
I agree.
Because if you're intentionally trying to persuade a story by not giving all the facts or not allowing somebody to make the right judgment because you're withholding facts, yes, I have to say that.
Yeah.
So now they're afraid to use the word transgender because they don't feel like, oh, well, it's not doing justice. What does that really do? It makes me think back to when I was working in local news, we were stopped from showing mugshots anymore. When we would give descriptions, when police were looking for things, we weren't able to show a picture even though we had it because we were told that, well, it looks bad upon certain things in our community and people in our community, the inner city. Eric, if you ever watched a local newscast, you don't see many mugshots anymore. There's a reason for that.
I would love to know what that reason is.
I just told you what the reason was. They don't want to give a bad perspective of certain things in our community.
Then I completely blame 100%. Tashara, you get 20%. Local media.
Well, this doesn't go back to just
local
St.
media.
Louis. This is all over the country.
Okay, fine. I'll just.
And now national media not calling the person a transgender.
Yeah. You guys are 100% responsible for everything because media directs the stories and it makes people make good decisions on how to vote and how to act and how to respond. I am disgusted with our local media. You guys are a train wreck. Seriously. If what Vic has said is true, you guys should be operating your station like this is the news. We just report the news. You guys do whatever you want.
Unless somebody,
because that's the way it used to be.
Unless somebody's convicted, you don't see it anymore. It's like, hey, we're looking for this person, and you can't see a picture anymore.
They sure do it. And you ever gone down Bridgeton past the airport? They have the mugshots of the most wanted down there.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it should be. I mean, these guys should be on billboards and Channel 2, Channel 4, Channel 5. Hell, they should have a 15-minute segment at the end of every damn broadcast about the people we're looking for. If you see these guys, let me know.
But they'll have Trump all over it today.
Well, that's the other point is, yeah, you have Trump all over it. If you had somebody that was in Justin's position trying to race bait a Democratic person, that would be all over the place.
True.
If it was if it was a MAGA Republican in a MAGA shirt shooting up a school, murdering innocent kids, they would be saying that 100%.
They sure would.
And I was just kind of, I always thought that local media was kind of good. But now after hearing what Vic says about it and knowing kind of the behind the scenes
watch
of it,
yourself.
the bullpens that are over there that basically accumulate and aggregate all the information
Just
and then how it gets into the teleprompter.
It's just my biggest issue has always been just tell the full story. And too often it is not told. And I started.
Well, when you don't tell the full story in your community, no matter what rag you're on, whether you're on the Post-Dispatch or on Channel 2 or on Cancel This, you are doing a disservice to your community. Your community depends on you to say, the highways in St. Louis suck. Don't drive on them because you will destroy your car. Crime is at an all-time high. Here's the top 5 guys that we're looking for. Boom.
But you're a racist if you put that
No. Yeah,
You're not,
I'm just saying in a world where common sense comes into play. I'm not saying about this world. I'm saying if you lived in a world where in the dimension that we're not living in right now, which is called the common sense dimension, when you see a problem, you fix problems, and you live carefree. In that dimension, you basically have, here's the person that just killed 3 people on Minnesota Avenue in downtown St. Louis. We'll be back after these messages. That's how the report would go. Instead, they're trying to basically shill for the BLM movement, I guess. Is that what you would say?
I don't even know if it's
of course it is.
The whole thing. It's the whole like Soros-like agenda.
Okay, the whole show. Ooh, that's even worse when you say it out loud.
It is. It's a whole agenda. Have you ever? And I know, Vic, you know more than any of us. But you watch the news now, and when they talk about something that might be good for the right, these real pretty women with a lot of makeup on, even like their lips curl up. Like, I mean, look at it. I mean, they have disdain for anybody on the right now. I mean, you can even see it on local news. And I haven't watched it very much, but over the last couple of weeks, I have, since we've been talking about that. They're so obvious now.
Yeah.
Late with the news and obvious who they don't like.
Yeah. I think that your son should have been on channel 2, 4, and 5 with that video. It's like,
I do too.
Well, I don't know if they knew about it.
They may not have.
And that's why I told Lizzie, you've got to send it at least first. And then once you send it, and if they refuse to get into it.
And it's public. You can see this on public. You can just go to like the Jeff City, Missouri thing. And you can see it in its entirety, right?
Oh, wow.
3 little clips. Yeah. It's much longer than that,
Yeah.
what they were doing to him.
I can feel the outrage in her soul.
Yeah.
She's outraged.
Yeah, she is so outraged.
She's like when somebody tells me.
So mad.
She's like when someone says David Lee Roth is worse than Sammy Hagar.
Oh my God.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. Absolutely. And me as the mother-in-law,
he's not.
I was like, wanted to go get her, but then I thought, I don't even have to get upset.
Yeah.
Justin's not upset. He sees her for what she is.
Well, it's like he doesn't take it personal. It's like playing
Not at
football
all.
when someone smashes in your mouth. It's like, oh, that was your job. Good job.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think he sees it the same way. But for people like us who aren't in politics and we're dying for some kind of normalcy, we want to see some decorum. That's why we hate Trump, I thought, is because we don't know how to act like adults in adult situations. And that lady was not acting like an adult in an adult situation. And she called her colleague, was it an Uncle Tom? Was that the one? Or there was
You said that happened off air. We did not show that.
I think you can see it in the entirety of it. But
and then a token?
A token.
Which was
from privilege, because if you grow up in Overland, that's privilege.
I mean, that's just
with a single mom,
right?
That's racist.
He
right?
went to Rittner.
He went to Rittner.
Yeah,
he went to Rittner, and then
that's not privileged.
Yeah, and then he paid for all of his own college by being in the military for 6 years.
Unless you went to CBC with a damn full-on scholarship, you're not privileged.
Right, he is a hero.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! And now we have other news that had just come out too. You guys remember James Comey, former FBI director who Trump had to fire? Well, of course he's going to jump in on the Trump situation now. He says it's been a good day. Are you kidding me? Let me remind you, Trump had to fire him because he was one of the central figures involved in the Russia collusion case, which was proven to be a lie, a 100% lie. And of course, the Steele dossier. Okay, so now you see people and you see what it's about. Comey was an absolute joke. He proved to be a joke. He was a part of one of the biggest lies in the history of our politics, the political scene, American history, for what was a lie. He helped encourage, he helped promote falsehoods. He was fired. So, of course, he's now coming out to go after Donald Trump for allegedly paying $130,000 of hush money to Stormy Daniels. So that's all he tweeted was, it's been a good day. Okay, James Comey, we appreciate you jumping in out of nowhere all of a sudden to try to get some headlines because you were kind of put in your place and you had fireable offenses. It's unfortunate. So James Comey comes out and says that. Also, you also have several constitutional attorneys coming out, including who we had on last week. When you come into these situations talking about this is an absolute joke, there is no constitutional merit for anything with an indictment here. This is 100% railroaded with a Democratic source-funded attorney and a Democratic jury pool.
Oh, geez.
So anyway, that was just some news that
that's
we
the
catch the
problem.
headlines as well.
I guess that's what I was trying to ask Al, is that, when does it become a circus to where your prosecutor was funded by George Soros, your jury is completely liberal and there's nothing you can do about it because of the area of the country they live in? At one point, do you have to rely on the judge to go, I've never seen anything like this. Get this defendant out of my courtroom. That's the firewall. I was hoping that I would say, yeah, they're all over the place and it needs to happen more, because motion to dismiss was built for this instance that's going on to Trump right now. That motion to dismiss a rogue prosecutor's case is exactly what we're talking about. So you're going to bring in this case to my courtroom? Oh my Lord, no, hell no. Bye. Don't forget to write.
I know we were bouncing back between those cases, but we just got a update that Justin, Missouri Representative Justin Hicks, who you saw being berated in the video because of his race and because he's a very clear speaker and because he didn't grow up privileged, he'll be on the show Tuesday. We'll figure out.
Fantastic.
But we'll get him on the show Tuesday to talk about some of those things that are going on.
Yeah.
So, Eric, you asked, we got it. We appreciate him jumping in already and letting us know. We'll figure out a time to figure out when we can do that. That's for sure.
And I gotta say, your son could be a rock star in Missouri.
Or son-in-law.
Your son-in-law could be a rock star in Missouri.
How old is he?
30.
Okay.
He's 30 years old.
Yeah.
He's still a youngin'.
Yeah. So he's got a lot of time.
Yeah.
So,
He
I mean,
doesn't
I'm
need it.
partial, but I think he's killing
We don't
it
have a
there.
lot of time. We need him now. Let's go.
We do. We do need him. I would agree with that.
The clock's a ticking.
Yeah, AI is killing everybody next week. I don't know what didn't you guys read that?
Right. So we better hurry up
Yeah.
so that we don't all die before
Yeah.
Justin can help us.
Yeah.
But just remember, there are in his communities, Eric, in those, like if he went to Overland, if he went into St. Louis City, he'd be in the minority where people would actually probably be backing what the representative Marlene said.
I know. I get you. Like Cedric, he didn't.
I mean, but
win
you'll find people just like, I mean, when you look at the liberal reporters, when you look at the liberal media and what they're saying right now, all you'll see is Trump faces more than 30 counts related to business fraud. It's like, okay, come on, break it down, talk to true attorneys, and they will advise you on how you should actually talk about this and how you shouldn't. But every Republican that I can see is coming out, it's an outrage.
Do you think that, Lizzie, that if all this stuff goes through, because I don't have Tabitha here who would absolutely throw something at me if I asked her, but do you think if this goes through and they use the powers of the law against Trump, do you think Republicans, conservatives across the country will be ridiculously pissed off if you don't turn the tables on him, if you gain power and say, we're putting you in there, but we want you to go after Clinton. We want you to go after Biden's son. We want you to go after Nancy Pelosi, everybody. Do you think that the Republicans will be like, all right, if that's how you want to play the game, boom,
Yes,
game on.
I think that it'll be expected. I think when he gets back in, it will be expected, because I think that's one of the disappointments of Republicans, or I should say conservatives, is that Trump didn't go after Hillary hard enough. Now, I'm not saying he didn't. He
That ship has sailed. The Clintons are done, Eric.
Really?
Yeah. Now here's
Yes, they're done.
Statute of limitations seems kind of in that same
But they're
ballpark
ruined.
area.
He did ruin them. Maybe not in the way we would have wanted, but they're done.
But things
He
have
ruined
changed.
them.
Eric, it's a great question to ask Lizzie, because here's why. You already see what's happening. The Republicans took over the House, and what did they immediately do? They launched an investigation into the Bidens, and we're now getting information that we've never had.
Yeah.
And
they're the JV squad, though.
And it's
the
continuing.
Democrats are the varsity squad, boy. I'll tell you what.
But here's the thing, though. You said if you're an alt, Republicans got back into office, and what did they do?
Yeah.
They went right, and they're going after. And Eric, all the information that's coming out is massive. Just because national media doesn't cover it or local media doesn't cover it doesn't mean it's not happening.
Right.
It is massive what they're uncovering. Where we have now a president and his son funneling $30 million from a communist country.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't England or France or contact with China, $30 million after what China's doing to this country.
Yep.
We never knew. And there's more coming.
Yeah.
The pictures being shown.
Yep.
The showing who the big guys, that's not done yet, Eric. It's going.
We'll see how that goes.
Now, what's happening is National media won't cover it.
Nope.
So you have to go look for it.
Yeah, there's one place you can find it. That's it.
Yeah,
Cancel this.
Well,
There's one place you
well,
can
Fox
find
News, us, OAN, Newsmax, they'll cover it.
Yeah.
But Eric, you see Republicans trying to fight back.
I'm just wondering if, I think that the decorum, I keep using that word, but the decorum of a president, the executive branch, and I guess what the backlash really would be is going and digging out the deep state and literally getting to the bottom of it. Because I think that Trump was a little bit lackadaisical last time of not getting to the bottom of what was
Eric,
going on.
You
there.
don't get to the bottom of the deep state.
I guess you're right.
I think if any,
you still think this is an 80s episode where at the end of the 30 minutes we're going to know everything and we walk away and everything's happy.
And I expected
I wish we could do that.
Well, remember the drain the swamp thing?
Yes.
That was a big thing.
I don't think he had any idea how bad it was, though. I really
He might be
don't.
right. He might need help.
He does need help. I wish he had a backup.
Yeah.
Well,
But people are too scared.
One of his comments or one of his quotes that has rang more true with me than anything he has said that has made me think. And he recently said it again as he said, people, they're not coming for me.
Oh, that's true.
They're coming for you.
They're coming for us.
They came after.
I'm standing in the middle.
I believe that.
Just remember that.
Yep.
The day Mike Taibbi, is that how you say his name?
Taibbi.
Taibbi, the guy
Matt Taibbi.
Matt Taibbi,
liberal newspaper reporter from New York.
The day I don't know what you guys were doing on that hour, but the day that they went, the two IRS agents knocked on his door when he was in Congress was the day that I literally had the hackles stand up on my back going,
Absolutely.
oh, crap.
2 days ago, that story broke that we were talking about here on Cancel This.
Damn. You know, we showed up. We knew you weren't going to be here. I'll tell you what, we'll talk to you next week.
Yeah.
Have
That's
a nice
scary,
day.
isn't it? But they can do that. And Trump was going to stand in between us.
It's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. Yep. I think we need him back in.
Eric, come on. We tell these
It's Paranormal Friday. We're supposed to
That's why the hairs were standing up on the back of your head.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. I was like, "Oh my god, that takes some serious." That's like watching Goodfellas in real time to me.
Yeah.
Why don't we just go over to Vinny's house and pay him a little visit there? Bring yourself a horse head while you're at it.
But once again, we're going to
with the fishes.
The only aspect of this which we haven't talked about yet is when does this happen? When does an arraignment happen? There's been speculation it could be Tuesday. As we told you on the show, that you're not going to see him in handcuffs. There's not going to be handcuffs. All you'll get is a mugshot.
Yeah.
With
He won't look like Nick Nolte. He won't look like Nick
what
Nolte.
Trump wants.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does want that. I don't get it other than it does rev his base to be more angry about it.
Yeah. I think he's
So
rehearsing.
Maybe
I think he is
Tuesday.
too.
Maybe
He's
Tuesday.
rehearsing everything right now. He's rehearsing the mugshot for real.
For real.
They're like, be ready to go because they'll take the
And
picture.
once again, this is theater. That
Yeah.
takes
It is all theater.
Yeah.
I
Is
hope
he
he
going-
smiles.
Is
in
he
the
going to
picture.
smile? Is
Huh?
he going to smirk? Is he going to be it? Can he salute?
Yeah.
I mean,
I hope he does this. You know how he does his thumbs
Yeah.
up? I hope he does this with this huge smile
Yeah.
on his face or the middle finger. Either one would be good for me. Yeah,
Lizzie, you're pissed. I love
I
it.
am pissed. It's
Are you
like
allowed to give a middle finger
Trump?
on a
Well,
mugshot?
Probably not, but I just hope he does it and somebody accidentally takes the picture and that goes crazy. And then when he does, I'm going to wear it in here.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Does it take a little of the sting out of the Crooked Hillary stuff, though? It's like, Crooked Hillary, oh, really? You're the one behind bars. I mean, I'm trying to do the
Yes.
liberal playbook in my mind
Yes, exactly.
as it's going to be written
Yes.
in real time in the next few months.
They're in their mind making us want to think that they're not that bad.
Yeah.
Epstein wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
You know, anything that ever happened with the Democrats, it's not a big deal. 'Cause
Again-
Trump is bad.
Again, they're marketing to the soccer moms that don't care
Oh.
about politics.
You're right.
So when there's a rally in Trump's name and they arrive with props of jail cells and the protesters are out there being, mocking Trump, that's who they're marketing to. The independent soccer moms, you guys got to get smart real quick. You got to get smart, they are doing this. They're playing for you. So you got to say, no one comes and takes my vote. I vote for my family. I vote for my community. I vote for my wallet, my checkbook. I vote for my national security. And if I said that to Biden's people, you'd be like, Yeah, well, we got transgender rights. Oh, fantastic. Where's your military in that? Well, we have transgender dance parties on Friday night.
And that is going to protect our country as they're gyrating in their
Yeah. What about the taxes?
Oh my God.
Well, we have to pay reparations to people that don't deserve them. I mean, you see what I'm saying? It's like the liberal argument never makes sense.
Never.
They can't win an argument, right?
Right. They cannot win an argument. So it doesn't make sense.
They have to win on these bizarre, bogus social issues. I mean, they did a good job.
They sure did.
Making Roe versus Wade an issue in the last election. Well, they did they did a great job. They're coming for your woman's rights.
Right.
But the other thing about all of this, when you think about what's happened, is that you've got a situation where Trump will not back down.
He won't back down.
He could have easily they made a deal. I mean, if you think back, you bring up Clinton, Bill Clinton, this is how times have changed. Bill Clinton did 100 times worse. I mean, he lied under freaking oath. Just think about this. He cut a deal with the special investigator in that case.
Sure did.
Think back to this.
Yeah.
He cut a deal. There are no deals anymore in politics with Republicans. And
Amen, brother. Preach.
And especially deals with a man who has so much power where he can take away the things that he says are happening. And just remember how good our life was, how good our country was moving, whether you like the man or not. It is night and day difference where we sit today compared to where we were when Donald Trump was in office. And we don't know half the stuff that's going on. And I'm still the guy that's scared to death about our economy, the digital currency that's coming. I still think something's going on behind the scenes with that, which is why all this other theater's going on. Things are going on. And Trump's like, I'm not backing out. And we always say he could have that perfect life. He had the perfect life. He had a life that everybody dreams of having.
Yeah. No doubt.
Yet he has chosen to go
he would
through
get
hell.
bored. He'd get bored.
Oh, he'd find something to do. He'd find something.
You can only scoop.
He would find something to do.
Play golf with so many holes.
That's true.
I think Trump is digging this. I think he loves.
Yes, of course he does.
I think he loves the opportunity to go to war with these people. I think he loves it. That's why he does it. Period.
But I do believe it when he says they're coming for you, not for me.
Oh, no doubt.
That
they came. Yes,
they are coming for us.
That's a no-brainer. What I would like to know is who's on their side. Do they have local law enforcement on their side? Do they have local politicians on their side? Are the prosecutors on their side? Of course they are. Who is their team? They hide it really well.
You know what? Nobody said this before, but I think Trump is going to get out of all this. However, I am very scared they will do to him what they did to the J6ers. And before that, I wasn't afraid of that.
What do you mean do to him what they did to
They
J6er?
want to put them in the gulag in D.C.
No, he can't. They can't put him in. He's not going to jail.
Well, I hope not.
No, there's nothing that they can do to put him in jail.
But they can. But here's what they did to Trump.
Unless he says,
Vic's
hey,
right.
Please put me in jail so I can try to make this
Vic is right.
A bigger theater scene.
No, they're not going to put him in jail. He won't have any orange suit on. But here's what they just did. They just threw warm taffy all over him. And taffy is
warm taffy.
It's not.
You are more 80s than 80s by the everyday.
It's warm taffy.
80s dude.
It sucks. Or just he got some super glue on him. It's not going to be there forever, but it sticks forever, and it's like frustrating. And it just is horrible. They know that that's what they're doing to him, and they're just throwing net after net on him. It's not going to keep him imprisoned, but he will deal with all. It's literally like he has to play a game with one hand tied behind his back all the time.
All the time.
All the time. That's what all of these lawsuits and these impeachment things are. Did you notice that when he was in office?
Yeah, but
he was still getting things done.
Yeah, but he's the Democrats' daddy. Just like if you have your little boy, you know what? You can tie my left hand behind my back, and you know what? I'm still going to take care of multiple young boys of mine. I'm the daddy.
Yeah.
Trump, he is just call
Could you
him
imagine
Don,
the guy unfettered?
Just call him Donald the
I would
Daddy
love to
Trump.
see that.
Could you imagine
he's the Dems daddy?
Could you imagine Trump? Listen to this.
Cancel this.
Could you imagine
Dems
this?
daddy?
Here's this. Check this out. This is what I want you to go to bed with. If Trump had the support and the backing of the American people. Yeah, maybe there's a few offshoot transgendered here and a few Roe v. Wade groups, blah, blah, blah. But all of us Americans were like, yes. Now listen to me. I'll do it in my deep voice. Yes. We are behind you, and we want to make America great again. And we did it with that tone.
We need the Hulk Hogan.
I love that tone.
Hulk Hogan's music is what we need. Remember, I Am a Real American.
Yeah. And we had Boeing and all of Jet Propulsion Laboratory saying, correct, we're making America great again, bitches.
Yeah.
And
I would love that so much.
And then we had all the American companies with a bunch of moving trucks coming back to the United States, and we had Apple going, yes, we're not making our phones with slave labor anymore. We're out. Could you imagine the power that we could have if we wanted it?
You need to write this fiction book.
I am, and now Watkins is going to be playing me.
That's great fiction.
But no, put it in your mind. It's the power of suggestion.
We'll keep putting it out into the universe.
It's manifestation.
Okay.
It's basically saying that 300 million people are behind. Okay, this guy might be a little abrasive, but boy, does he get stuff done. That's what I'm
and
serious.
What do we have now? We have more theater starting Monday.
Yes.
Into all next week to see what is true, what's happening, where it is, what's it going to look like. Is he going to give a big F you middle finger to the mugshot? Is he going to smile? Is he going to, who knows? But it's more drama. And then we'll have to wait and see what dump comes in the media Friday dump and or the Saturday.
Aaron Bland is right.
Media dump. What'd Aaron say?
Sounds like the movie Idiocracy. Boy, are we getting close to that.
Yeah,
we are getting
we have
close
talked
to
about
Holy mackerel.
Wow, we're already there.
I mean, you got an idiot in the White House right now. I mean, it's medically proven.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be mean.
We broadcast live out of the St. Louis area at a place called Strategic Air Services. If you need alternatives to commercial air flying, there's no other place to go than Strategic. With that being said, their owner, Kevin Malutnik's, he's not actually in studio, but he's in our studio. We have a big window, which is really cool. So you can watch us like zoo animals do our thing, and you can sit
there
outside.
He is.
Well, he's out there, but since he's out there, I wanted to bring up and ask him a question. Yesterday, for our list, we showed whenever you have severe weather, wherever you're listening from in the country, in the Midwest, actually the line pretty much extends from north to south. Yesterday, that's going to get hit with some severe weather today. So it covers most of the country north to south. There was one wave that went through. We're expecting a second wave throughout the Midwest. With that being said, we just showed you a list of the emergency sirens, the transmitters. Guess what? That were all out. Kevin, you can hear me. Our listeners can't hear you. Is there any update yet? We're going to get them a mic. Or have you seen any updates? Do you know if the National Weather Service has fixed all of their transmitters to let people know when severe weather is going to hit?
I have no idea if these are fixed.
Okay, this was the case yesterday because we are expecting, we're still expecting some severe weather, right?
Yes, I think it's going to come a little bit later than originally planned, but it's going to be strong and it's going to come in waves. It's going to be short waves. This is from meteorologist Kevin Malutnik.
I was reporting.
That sounded right.
Reporting for Cancel
good,
This.
Kevin.
Did you go out? I didn't think you were going out yet. Did you go out last night?
No, my son had a baseball game right here in Chesterfield, and it was lightning. So every time there's lightning, they delay it for 15 minutes.
Oh my gosh, it was a late game.
11.
There was a lot of lightning last night. That's for sure. No doubt about that. All right. Thanks for the update, Kevin Malutnik. We appreciate
Isn't it ironic
Keep your cars inside today.
Why?
A lot of hail.
Really?
When?
I didn't see it.
What's the time?
Well, it could be late tonight, right?
It's good. I think it could be anywhere from probably just after lunch till 6, 7 o'clock tonight, but it's going to be short bursts.
Where do I find the TAF at or the METARs?
I don't know. Look it up. You got.
I will, but I'm too lazy.
You can.
Kevin, he wanted you to do that.
Do you remember what TAF stands for?
Yeah, terminal area forecast.
There you go.
Burn, burn,
Yeah,
burn.
Remember.
Guys, we had an awesome show today for Cancel This, cancelthisshow.com, our live TV audio podcast. We appreciate everybody joining us. Continue to share the show. By the way, again, thanks to Jim Kennedy, who joined us yesterday. I had multiple texts yesterday. You got to get that guy back on to talk about what's happening around the country.
Ken, is he
and the
available?
World. Yeah,
He's
we're going to
great.
get, because he never even actually got a chance to talk about the rare earth medals themselves.
But you can't. You have to set the stage, you know?
Well said, Eric. Well said. Thanks for joining us. Happy Friday, March 31st. We'll see you Monday. It's cancelthisshow.com. Like, subscribe, share, send stars. If you can donate, we appreciate that. If you know advertisers who would be great with us, would be a great fit with us, let us know as well. We do have those people jumping on board right now, and please check out our advertisers when you get a chance. And of course, we thank Complete Auto Body and Repair for being our show sponsor. Complete Auto Body Care. Your daughter went there recently, right, Lizzie?
She did. My daughter Hope went there, and she originally just went in for like an emissions thing, and we knew that there was a lot wrong.
Yeah.
And she came back, and they fixed everything that was wrong with her car for such an unbelievably price.
What?
We thought it was wrong. It was that good.
And they need technicians. Best place to work, best
Fantastic.
money you're going to get as well. All right, guys, have a great day. Thanks for watching Cancel This. For Scotty Gherkin, Lizzie Sparks, Eric Johnson, Tabitha Hassel, taking a day off. I'm Vic Faust. We'll see you again Monday. And by the way, next Friday for Paranormal Friday, it will be the AI adventure. And God knows what's going to happen this week when it comes to AI. But we had to go news today instead, and I think it was well worth it. All right. Have a great day. Thanks for listening and watching.
Bye, everybody.
Go Cards.
Woo! Hey, it's the Nature Boy Ric Flair, and you're listening to Cancel This. Woo!